beautiful beings of light. My name is Jeanette and I am a high vibrational being. I am an earth angel. I am a galactic entity. I am also connected to the Most High. I am a psychic. I am everything that is. There's so much to me. And I am here to deliver messages from the Most High to the collective. I am also here to help raise the consciousness of the collective and the planet. For those who are new, welcome to my channel. For those who are my returning subscribers, I love you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Please don't forget to share, like, and comment on my channel. Just know that my channel has been hacked. My Instagram has been hacked. My YouTube, my everything, my emails. So basically, the only way that you will be able to contact me, that's if you go on my Instagram page and do the direct messaging. This happens due to people who are very highly connected to the Most High. They try to steal our contacts. They try to steal our information, try to get us into a state where we will, they try to make you lose your mind. But when you're a strong being, when you are connected to the Most High, there's nothing any entity could do. Yes, they could tap into your devices. Yes, they do spy in my room. They do spy through my cameras. They do stalk me in the streets. They do all this. They do call me, spam calls, all this. But guess what? Since I know who I am, I will not let these entities try to ever take control of my being, knowing that God is the Most High, that nothing that God has put in his place to help could ever be destroyed. So I'm very thankful to my Father, and I called in his energy at this time to please help me channel the messages that I need to channel to the collective at this time. I am also calling in my angels, my archangels, my ascended masters, my galactic family. I'm calling in my deities, my passed on loved ones. I love you all. Thank you. My spirit animals, my fairies, my dragons, ascended masters, my deities, my ancient Egyptian, and all cultural ancestors to come in, protect me from any entity that is not from the highest good. Help me channel the messages that the collective needs to know at this time. Everything that I say is always with pure intentions. Only take the messages that resonate with you and always leave the rest behind. Do not take in any messages that you do not resonate. Always do your research. Not every entity that comes on YouTube is for your highest good. I have seen tarot card readers who are portraying to be prophetic readers that receive messages from spirits, but they're not. I know their energy. I see the lies. I see the deceit within these beings. So you have to You have to see. They try to stop my throat chakra. They try to stop my messages, but I am very powerful. There's nothing and no weapon that could ever form against me that they shall prosper. Know that my channel is protected. Any evil doing, anybody that's doing any witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, know that it's not accepted in my channel. Know that everything is returned back to sender. Know that my collective is being protected at all times. Those who are only really here with pure good intentions, the ones that are here to harm and hurt, know that you are being watched. Know that you will reap what you sow. Everything that you put out, you will receive at the end of the day. I have been guided to, I want to talk about the angels, and I did a whole series on angels. I spoke about the different types of angels. So today I'm just going to pinpoint, because my Archangel Michael is coming through, and there's messages that Archangel Michael wants to provide for the collective. The first one is the war on earth. Ever since Michael cast the devil and his angels out of heaven, the war between the forces of light and the forces of darkness has continued on earth. This is what we are going through at this time, people. Every day we can see the evidence of this war on the battlegrounds on earth. It's in the mind and consciousness of our children, our youth, our people, and the entire planet. It is the warfare of the allegiance of souls, whether to a materialism devoid of the spirit, or to the spiritual path leading to soul freedom. The manipulation comes through very false doctrines in religion and politics that has contrived to deny that God is within you. This is the war we're going through. Politicians who are taking control, who have done evil to the collective, who has put spells on the collective. That's no longer being tolerated by God. God is dismantling every false religion, politician, system that has organized anything to cloud the minds of the collective from spiritually connecting to God. Their systems are being dismantled at this time. So the war, the battles for souls. So the war that begun in heaven is still raging on earth for the souls of our children and ourselves. It is raging with such subtlety, and people continually ask me, when is Armageddon going to begin? I tell them that it has been going on for a long time. Look at our children. Look at what's happening to our bodies, souls, and minds. This is the war in the streets and in our cities. When you see children who look as if they're gone on drugs, as if they're wasting away, and their eyes have almost no light, you might wonder, where has their soul gone? Where is that child you once knew who was bright, joyful, excited about life? The child who is now dark, depressed, and suicidal. This is the battle for souls. Destroy the body, destroy the chemistry, destroy the delicate central nervous system and the spiritual center, and you destroy the ability to contact higher vibrations. And so the soul is cut off from contact with the living God. That's what this illicit drugs do. They are deaf to the spiritual attunement of the soul. We see this war in so many ways, not only in the production of toxic and dangerous drugs and chemicals, but also in numerous other manifestations. And at certain levels, all of it has been designed to make the people weak and unable to see the reality of dealing with forces of darkness. The best way I can see to deal with the equation is to call upon your Lord and to call upon Archangel Michael, the great deliverer of Moses and Joshua, and one who fights the battles on behalf of the Lord and his children. He goes on to say conflicts within. One of the many ways that the fallen angels in our embodiments attempt to destroy the souls and spirit of God's people is by accusing us of our imperfections and telling us that we can never rise again. The children of God make mistakes, but the daily mistakes we make, getting into trouble and problems, getting into burdens and blinded by our karma, that we do things we regret later. These are things for which we cannot come to the altar and seek forgiveness. And God does forgive. And when you have a penitent heart, when you have a pure heart and you know that you wanted to do the right thing, but you made a mistake, you don't have to fear to confess the error. God will forgive you as a son or a daughter, as a child of his heart. So we don't need to have a sense of sin and a sense of struggle. Well, whatever we have been through, we can learn from it. And it can lead us to greater self-knowledge and understanding. It is true that there's no free mistakes. Eventually we will bear a karma, and for them in one way or another, we can meditate these karma through prayers and services to life. Nevertheless, we get to make mistakes without being ultimately condemned. And if we don't condemn ourselves, we can more easily pick ourselves up and keep on striving. It's not making a mistake that causes us to fail. It's making the same ones repeatedly and not getting to the root of why that can cause our failure and be our undoing. But we can learn from our errors and our experiencing the karma they create. And then we can stop making the same mistakes and we can move on. Sometimes it takes psychological work with a professional counselor to get to the roots of the problem. Most of us have internal conflicts, but we manage to cover them up. So often these battles are not fought and won by the soul, but only left where they are. And the wearing can be a festering condition within the physical body itself. Being at odds with yourself, disliking yourself, is a war, an Armageddon inside of you. Archangel Michael can help you to reach a victorious resolution of the conflicts within you. Well, I get very, very emotional because I know in my very troubled times, in the times when I was going through so much, I called on God, but Archangel Michael, as I learned about spirituality, I learned that Archangel Michael was always there with me. So I continued to call on his energy and have fought battles, spiritual battles and attacks that has never touched me because of the faith that I have in my Father and the work that I have done within myself to not to continue to do the same mistakes over and over and over again. I have opened up my heart purely to the Most High, and I only serve one master, and that is my Father. Whew. By free will, we choose. Often we call for angels to protect us physically, yet we don't ask for the protections of our thoughts, our words, our actions. But we can also ask them to safeguard our aspects of ourselves. We can say, "Beloved Archangel Michael, come to protect me, lest I speak a mean word, lest I think a critical thought about someone, lest I spread negativity to the world." And we can be aware that we have a choice in how we react. We have free will. We need to understand that this is for the spiritual path. If we ignore free will and that which is corollary to it, responsibility for actions based on free will, we miss the point of salvation. The truth meaning of salvation is self-evaluation to the consciousness of our higher self. By free will, we make those choices that move us closer to the consciousness, to that consciousness. By free will, we choose whom we will serve, whether we are going to be one with God or whether we are going to be the same human, or whether we are going to be human gods. Those who use God's energy only for the lesser self. It is the great gift of free will that we chose to use God's energy to become one with our higher self. Every day, there are split seconds in our life when we make decisions. Are we going to indulge in that little pit of gossip? Are we going to indulge in criticisms of someone else? Are we going to indulge in a point of pride or irritation? When you make the decisions to do so, you are no longer aligning yourself with God and His living presence with us. At that point, you are aligning yourself with negativity, with forces who have come to defeat us, sometimes ever so subtly, and it can be very subtle. But we can invoke the assistance of Archangel Michael to guard our consciousness and to help us make the best decisions. When you criticize somebody, when you gossip about a being, when you are negative, that is not the higher self. That is the lower self. That is not how God wants His children to be at. He wants His children to love one another, forgive, release, and let go of any hurt, of any pain that anybody has ever caused you in your life. It doesn't matter. Once again, my son was killed. I have forgiveness for all. Will I forget? No. But I don't hold on to any anger, any rage, anything other than love and forgiveness and compassion. Because we're not perfect. We have all made mistakes in our lifetimes, but it's the change that really counts. Are you going to change? Call for spiritual help. So in the world, these are battles of Armageddon. Within ourselves, there is often a battle. We see the players, and we see how they out picture choices. I'm sorry. I cry because I understand somebody's in a lot of pain at this time. Somebody has done something very cruel, very hurtful. Free yourself, free your soul. Speak your truth. Do not leave this lifetime without forgiving yourself and speaking to God for your forgiveness. We can see before our very eyes the consequences in the lives of those who make wrong choices. We can say, "There, but for the grace of God, go. I help me, O God, and help me to assist others as they strive to make the best decisions in exercising their free will. Guide, guard, and direct us that we might make those choices that we bring to us closer to our higher self." Don't ever blame anyone for the mistakes that you have caused, for the pain that you have caused upon yourself. Nobody did anything to you. You did it to yourself. We all had that free will. We all had that choice. You made the choice. Pray to Archangel Michael for protection for yourself and for those you know and those you love. And call to him to deliver all who are immersed in the battle of Armageddon at any level of their being. Reflections. Notice how and where you experience internal conflict. How can Archangel Michael help you to reach a victorious resolution? How can you stop gossiping about somebody? What is it about yourself, about that person that you are talking about? That's something that you need to resolve within yourself. Reflect, look, jealousy, envy. It's a destroyer. Deadly sins. Heal your traumas. What other steps can you take to lessen and resolve the inner conflicts? You need to listen to a lot of positive affirmations. Oh, say those, reprogram your mind. In what ways could you use free will to draw you closer in consciousness to your higher self? That's something that you need to decide. That's something that you need to work on. This is your spiritual path. Not anybody could tell you what you need to do, how to do it. Your spiritual path is your spiritual path, is your journey. It's your journey within yourself. It's getting closer to your higher self, which is the Most High God. Oh, sorry guys. Somebody's watching my video and their energy is being projected over here, but I transmute that to love. I do not hold any ill intents on anyone. You just need to go to God and ask for forgiveness. Communing with God and his angels. Does God always answer prayers? Whenever you call to the angels in God's name, they must answer. They do answer. Oh my God, they are always there. You just have to believe. As long as your call is consistent with divine will and it does not cause injury to life. Sometimes you assess a situation you feel that is hopeless. That's not even the angels, that not even the angels can help. But this is precisely when you need to give your prayers. You never know who's the angel. Angels come in many forms, colors, shapes, personalities, cultures, religion. Doesn't matter. And then surrender to the situation, to the will of God. Sometimes people are rescued, sometimes they're not. It depends on their karma and God's will for them. And we don't know what that is. But one thing is certain. Our call will compel God's answers and the maximum amount of mercy his law will afford. More than we cannot expect. For God doesn't break his laws. He doesn't break the law of karma. And everyone has karma. We need to experience our karma because it teaches us things we need to learn for our spiritual growth. Sometimes we go through injury and pain. For instance, it softens our hearts. We become more humble. God teaches us in many ways that whatever these are, we can always be grateful. Be grateful for everything. Everything that we have go through in this lifetime. We have to be thankful and grateful for the home, the homelessness, the little foods that we have, the little money that we have, the little clothes that we have, it doesn't matter. What matters is your heart. What matters is your intention. What matters is the love that you never forget who provides for you, who puts that roof over your head, who put those clothes on your back, who puts food on your table, who builds that money in your account. It's not man. It's the Most High. He's the creator of everything. He created everything. He created all of us. We work for God. Michael State Troopers. The following story shows how some of my students learned an unexpected lesson when they were praying for Archangel Michael. It happened one day when I was traveling through Oregon. on a bus with a group of them. We were praying for Archangel Michael when we Archangel Michael, when we all of a sudden, we heard over a loudspeaker, pull over to the side of the road. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and I am not ashamed of it. And there they were, the state police of Oregon. 2 state troopers got out of their car, and our driver got out and began talking with them. They said, "Did you know how fast you were going around that curve? You passed about 5 cars." And our driver said, "No, I really didn't know." So the officer said, "Well, you were doing 65 around the curve, passing all those cars. I am going to have to give you a ticket." The student wondered, when he had been asking Archangel Michael for protection, how could he possibly have allowed us to get a ticket? I explained that Archangel Michael represents God's will and his law. So the police, in their position of keeping the law, are in his domain. The police forces throughout the world are intended to serve under Archangel Michael to maintain the law and protection of people. Did you hear that, officers? The police forces throughout the world are intended to serve under Archangel Michael to maintain the law and protection of people. These state troopers were doing their duty. A lot of people on the road were speeding. It seems that nobody was observing the speed limit, but we magnetized the enforcement of the law by our prayers to Archangel Michael. I told the student that when you intensify an action of light in your consciousness, you intensify the action on all planes. When you call to Archangel Michael and his legions, you invoking the law. So it's a good idea to be in harmony with the law of both God and man. Therefore, if you're going to invoke the law, you better be sure you're obeying the law. I'm happy to make a contribution to the state of Oregon by paying the fine because I knew that this experience was a good lesson for everyone. The divine exchange. True devotion is a triangle current of divine love sent from our heart to God's heart. Through the love, you create a cord that ties you to God and to all the heavenly beings to whom you pray. On the return current, God sends you a reinforcement and multiplication of that love according to the quality and qualifications of your communication. You may feel God's response as his warmth and compassion, or some other manifestation of his light. But you cannot receive from God any more light than you can protect and hold in harmony. You can do everything you know to do on the spiritual path. But if you cannot hold fast what you receive from God, he will not increase it. So you can invoke Archangel assistance to help you to guard that light. Protect your energy. Always be in harmony with everything in life. There are laws of the universe that we all need to follow, and there are laws in man that we need to follow as well. As long as you are in alignment with the Most High and balanced with the law of karma, you will be always protected. Just know that. But know that if you do evil, there is some karma that you need to ask for forgiveness and know that that karma will come back. And you just have to accept it and deal with it and move on and heal from those negative energies that you have or forces that you have evoked or manifested in your own life. This last prayer, do I have 2 minutes? I don't know. Just speak. I'm going to end this because the video will be cutting short. But Archangel Michael want to say thank you. Call upon his energy. Call upon him to protect you. He will always guide you. He will always be there for you. If you are in harmony with God and the law. And for those police officers, know that you are always protected. Archangel Michael is your protector and his legions. As long as you are working for the highest good of protecting the people of God and not doing anything that is not for the highest good of all, then you are highly protected. You never have to worry. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. And I'm very thankful. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for coming through. Thank you for your energy. I'm forever, ever grateful. Namaste. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Somebody is really in need to cry. You could go ahead and cry and release and let it go and say thank you for the blessings, the lessons. Namaste.